What's up, guys? We got a first place, or not first place, but a third place deck profile with Trunksgeta, with the All-Star champion that you might know on television. What is your name?
It's Bryan Samuel.
Bryan Samuels. All right, so you took a deck that was pretty old, but still good. So old but good. You want to go into your deck profile?
Yeah, no, for sure. So I did play Trunksgeta, which most of you should already know what it does. It awakens once you have a 2 or more energy and a Vegeta, and you put under it, get to awaken. Leader has a built-in double strike, which is, now that's lacking in this game due to no Champa and such, so it's already pretty strong in itself. I'm just gonna go straight into the package just because this deck's pretty straightforward.
Before you start, do you want to shout out your sponsor or your team?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, shout out to my team, since day one. Michael Kano, Josh Ruiz, all the guys, man. Shout out to the 805, all my local guys.
Yeah, we're the best.
Just being able to go through this with me. This was a last second deck that was, that was made, primarily through myself, Josh, and my local guys. So big shout out to them.
What deck did you want to play prior to this event, or did you always had your heart set on this deck?
To be honest, I was actually going to run Gamma. I just didn't run it because I literally lost like 5 or 6 games in a row to one of my local guys, and he was playing 21.
Yeah.
So I knew that I had no chance.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, my only loss with this deck was to Android 21. But
okay.
Whatever. We're gonna tweak the build. Again, this was a last second build that I ran for the event, and my new version will be a lot different. I'll go over that in future videos.
Okay, cool. All right, let's get into the deck profile.
But I'll go into the video again. A lot of you guys probably already saw my video. Hayden already posted the top 16 deck profiles, but I'm just gonna go into why I ran the specific ratios.
Yeah, yeah, that's why we're watching a deck profile.
Yes, sir. So we go 3 Vegeta and 3 Trunks, which everybody was like, why are you not running 4?
Yeah, why are you not playing 4?
I'm also running 2 of these, which is another way that you can awaken this leader.
That makes sense.
They can also go into different evolved targets, which you'll see in the future.
Okay.
So this was the
basically your forced copy of each of the cards were
pretty much
the dash pack Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah, we're in 4 Trunks because it's the most important card. EX Evolve in the deck.
Yep.
EX Evolve, draw 2, blocker, barrier.
Any new interactions that you found with this particular Trunks? With the new cards that came out?
I think that a lot of decks are learning to play around this card now. So they're actually so it's not as useful as it used to be, but at the same time it's still very difficult to deal with. It makes them have to do awkward plays to get around it. Okay. So that's always good. I summed the Vegeta count down to 3.
Okay.
Just because I have other cards that have good removal in the deck. So I'm only playing 3 EX Evolve Vegetas. I'm playing 1, which I'm only playing 1 because I only had 1 at the time. I would have played 2. Yeah. Which was the Vegito EX Evolve. It goes over the Vegeta.
What did you typically lock with this particular Vegito? Did you lock something?
It just depended on the matchup. It was good against certain decks like Unison based decks or decks like Sin, where if you couldn't clear the card, you can keep it tapped. Things like that. It also was helping me against in the Gamma matchup too, because in Gamma, they can't counterplay this EX Evolve, where it's a 5 cost, whereas the Dragonball 18 counters the other 2.
I see, because he's a 5 drop.
Yeah, so he's able to get around that and kind of like lock battle cards and try to keep the pressure off of you.
Is he able to draw cards with this?
He does. He also
okay, so it's the same exact the other one. Okay.
Yeah, same exact the other one. So he's going to draw 2, he's going to lock, he's 25k double, so he's hefty. So one of those. I'm playing 2 Bulmas. In the future build, I don't know if I'm actually going to play Bulma anymore. I do think she's still very good utility-wise just to search for your cards, but we'll see if I end up cutting that ratio. Okay. Played 3 Kabito Kais. This card is absolutely snaps. It just makes the deck very toolboxy, which I love. Yeah. For especially in BO1 formats, because you can kind of search your deck for any of your silver bullets that you need, such as like Chi-Chi, Golden Frieza, and such. Yeah, so this card is very good. Also literally searches super combo for me every time I play it. So very good card. And then you got the Floodgate package, 4 Repose and 3 Vegetos.
Yes, sir.
I don't think you need more than this. Actually, I was actually even thinking about cutting it to 2. It just seems very greedy, but I'll take it. So Vegeto's just very good against the red matchups, especially just because you're able to counteract Crown. So you can leave 2 energy up at all times, and they try to crown you, just go Vegito.
Then you just kind of play around now.
Yeah, so it's just let you be able to keep 2 energy up, which is actually very useful. So the other matchups, obviously, it's just an annoying flip game.
Did you use it to like stop a strike ability?
That never came up. Honestly, it never came up, but at the same time, it was just, it was there if I needed it to be, but just being a blocker and shutting down the turn for the most part was good enough.
Got it, okay.
3 Smoke Dragons. So, again, it's also a BO1 pre-side. I just didn't want to take up any more space in the sideboard, but so typically I probably play 2 main boards, sideboard 1. It's very good against its worst matchups. Like, this deck's worst matchups are like Gamma, especially, so you want to get that Unison off the board. Yeah. Gogeta is kind of annoying sometimes, so you want to get that Unison off the board. Yeah. It's just a very good card. Obviously, you're playing against hand destruction. You draw 2, whatever you say.
Any barrier that you want to remove with this guy in this format?
There's certain cards. I mean, they can get rid of. Like, I mean, if they're playing again, you're playing against the mirror match. It's pretty good against the mirror match. You want to work Trunks, you can.
Yeah.
Which I probably wouldn't use it against that anyway. But Blitz, Goku.
Yeah, it seems like you're only using it for the unison.
Yeah, it's typically there for the unison or for the draw. That's usually.
Or the draw too. I see. Makes sense.
Yeah. I play 1 Secret Identity. Going into the future, I'm probably going to play 2
The Vegeta.
realms. So it's either probably going to be the Vegeta and Secret Identity, just to have a 1-on-1 combination, just to be able to go wide board or go tall. So I'll do that. This card's very good. The Goku and Vegeta Ultimate Duo. It's pretty much a turtless, except it only costs 1, and it negates the skill when it kills. So it's just more energy efficient. It also goes hand in hand with cards I'm supposed to be using in this deck, which I didn't have, which is like the Majin Vegeta from the starter deck. I just couldn't get my hands on the starter deck itself before this event. Again, this was a last-second build, but like in my future builds, I'll be playing a couple of Vegetas and probably 3 of these Gokus, just to make it sync.
Okay, so it's a very blanket toolbox card that you can
It's
take
also
out.
good against like cards that like have skills when they're KO'd and such, because again, when he comes out, he negates the skill and then he KOs the card.
Such as?
So like Android 21, the USCR, for instance, or let's say you were playing 9 drops in Senron, something like that. You can just KO it.
Yeah,
and
that's
not
very
worry
smart.
about the
Yeah, that's true. Awesome.
It's just a very good card. 2 coolers, you guys know what that does. Counter. We're going face. That's what we're doing. 3 Krillin super combos. Again, searchable with Kibido Kai. The best yellow super combo to use for the deck.
Yeah.
And if you know I'm playing 3 of those, you know what my SCR is.
Yep.
Gohan Piccolo. This is best. One of the best SCRs.
So this is better than the number number 1.
Yeah, UR number 1 is very situational. It's actually better in the yellow mirror match. It's better in certain matchups, but this deck we wanted to be ready for aggro. We wanted to be ready for everything. So Gohan Piccolo was just the best. I have a couple little one-ofs. The one Vegeta Trunks, father son. I'm only playing this card literally because my Z Awaken. It's also good against like slower matchups, or if you just want to kind of crit your opponent to death. It's also just another option. It's another way to be lethal.
Sounds good.
The new Boo. This Boo is just, you don't get his regular skills, but again, it only costs 1 yellow. It comes out when you have 4 more energy. It's a 30k deflect, double strike. Pretty much replacing the Champa.
Basically replacing Champa,
another finisher. It's a cheap finisher. I'm playing one of these Gokus. To be honest, I wouldn't probably play more than one of these. This card didn't really come up the entire event. It's not as good in this deck as it would be in other decks that Z Awaken quick, like Majin Vegeta or the Spirit Bomb deck, but it does have its times where it comes up. You can also play later in the game, just to play it, tap something down, tap 2 things down, swing. It's very good. I'm only playing 1 Unison, whereas I wish I mained more just because it's better against Android 21. 21 you'll find like Unisons are definitely the way against 21 decks. Gamma as well. But you just want to go Trunks. I'd probably play 2 of these main and probably sideboard 2 Gohans in the future.
2 Gohan.
Just because that's just the better way to go about beating 21.
Okay.
You want to go Unison heavy and not be so heavy on the battle cards on the board. It's just the way I would go at it.
But 21 is able to rest the Unisons to pay for the cost.
They can rest it, but what happens is
colorless.
they have their floodgate. Their floodgate, the 21 or their 17 floodgate doesn't stop Unison swings. So you're able to apply more pressure and you're able to kind of remove.
Got it.
And then they can't tap more of their stuff on your board.
I see.
Yeah, so Unisons are definitely the way against that deck. I'll go into the extra card package. 3 Frieza Army Reinforcements. Just you guys know what it does pretty much. Just
token negate.
5 life, token negate free. 2 Tyrannical Blows. Tyrannical Blows is pretty much for the Gamma or any floodgate matchups. Or against the mirror match. You just want to shut down the floodgate and be able to press.
So that's the main reason why you played it.
Yeah.
So do you historically have a bad matchup against Gamma?
Gamma is probably the worst matchup for this deck.
I see.
Always has been. They've been battling it at it since the sets came out.
I see.
So that's just kind of
because of the Android 18 counterplay.
Yeah. Android 18 just makes it really tough. Played 2 Final Flash. Feature builds, I'm probably gonna cut it down to 1. Like just having Final Flash in general, like. Playing against yellow, you always have to have in the back of your head knowing that they play Final Flash, so you're probably not going to dump with the battle card regardless against yellow. That's just kind of how that is. So like there's so many times I charge this card 90% of the time, to be honest with you. But just seeing it in my energy, having your opponents see it, they know that you play it, they know that it's a threat. So I would probably play this at 1, to be honest with you, or cut it completely. I played 1 Realm. I probably would have upped that to 2. I would have swapped them. I think 9 or 10 is probably the count for extra cards in this deck.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play any less than that just because you want your opponents to be alive at all times.
Got it.
Yeah, so I'll probably play 2 realms. I played one of each of these, 1 time magic, 1 Kamehameha.
Yeah, so I noticed that
and
battle
one
cards
power
are
boost.
coming back into the format a little bit. Is that the reason why you play Time Magic and not Time Magic, but Kamehameha?
Yeah, I mean, once you saw like the rebirth of like Sin, you saw its emergence, all these new red cards that just made the deck so much more
Yeah.
aggro, and there's just decks that want to go wide on you.
Yeah.
Realm just seems to get a little more value now.
Yeah.
So I think Realm's value is definitely going to go up now. Time Magic was just good against decks that have big time beaters that swing dual attack or whatnot.
Yeah,
You
much
just,
like
or
you are number
sparking.
one.
Yeah,
you are able to
number
stun
one,
lock
tap you
the.
down, and you're just like, no.
No, you're not
Time
gonna
Magic.
you're not gonna restand like 2 twice and then attack
Exactly. So I mean,
Okay.
Time Magic is good. It's also another way to self-awaken. Sometimes they'll try to stick you at 6 or whatnot. We also have Ezekiel. We have Surmounting and then the other
you.
negates
Yeah.
for that. But
Spoilers.
yeah, it's just another card for that.
Okay.
So that is the main
Is it
board
50
for
cards?
that. My list, I believe, is 53.
53. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
So I'll go into the Z deck really quick. So I played 1 Z Awaken SS Trunks.
Yeah.
This card, I mean, you're gonna play it because yellow doesn't have many Z cards anyway. So you're probably gonna play this at 1 just to have it. I mean, it did
Yeah.
come up in a couple of my matchups to where I just was able to crit my opponent down, which was good. I was able to kind of control the
Does
game.
he lose the ability to revive the 1-drops?
No, he still keeps the ability
Oh,
to,
okay, I didn't
to
know
bring
that.
up the
Okay.
1-drops, and he gains 5k, and he draws a card and gains crit.
So everything
or he
he
has
does
crit
over.
naturally.
I see.
But yeah, so I played 1 of those. 1 Surmounting, which is kind of a staple. You want to, if you're awakened to 6 leader, you want to go to 5 life. So your token negates your life. You want to be able to protect unisons and such.
Yeah.
So it's a valuable card. 1 Oolong, where in a blue format, it's probably the worst card because it just gets realmed, but at the same time, it's also another threat, another way to apply pressure and finish games.
Got it.
So Oolong's good. These ones I just tried in this particular deck. Like I played 1 Boo and I played 1 Majin Vegeta.
Yeah.
I figured against like some matchups where I could just stick Boo early and this can't be removed. It was just going to be additional pressure that they had to deal with. I never brought this card out. I'm definitely not going to play it. This was just a replacement for the Goku Z card because I was supposed to be playing the Majin Vegeta in my deck. I just didn't have access to it. So this would have been the Goku Z card for sure. And this card, I mean, it was the one game I brought it out, I lost, which was 21. So I would rarely bring this card out in this particular deck. It was probably good against very slow matchups like that you wanted to crit down, you could do. But other than that, I don't really see it. It's probably 2 Gokus, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
In future
The
decks.
defender, or what is it called?
And of course, two evolved
Evolved
defenders. The last
Defenders,
2, evolved defenders is a great Z card. It probably came up like 2 times in my matchups. You don't really have to revolve around your Z deck in this particular deck, unlike other yellow decks. But evolved defender is good though. Just being able to tap down leaders, tap down future threats, and just being a 25k barrier, deflect beater. It's pretty good.
Okay,
So
cool.
that's the Z deck. Get this out of you guys' way.
Check out your side deck. Did you side deck at all in this?
Oh, I side decked the entire time.
BO and pre-side tournament?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so it was pretty much. I mean, obviously you're playing with the 65, right? So that's great for.
Yeah.
So I sideboarded the second Trunks Unison. This came in against 90% of my matchups.
So now you're
Again,
gonna
in
main
future
deck too.
builds, I'll be definitely maining too.
Yeah.
Bergamo also came in 90% of my matchups.
Yeah.
It's very good in the yellow mirror. That's what I thought I was gonna sideboard it for most. Anything but blue, it's pretty good against, or aggro.
Yeah.
So I mean, it came in most of the time, most of the day. I would sideboard 2 of these. I only could find 1 last second, which was Trunks Cunning.
Yeah.
Just if you're playing against any blue decks that run Divinity, it's decent against Android 21 just because their 8-drop can't restand the 5 energy at the end of the turn.
Got it.
So it's decent. Just played out early, it sticks. And it's decent. It's also searchable with Kamito Kai.
Okay. Cool.
You'll see my sideboard is pretty.
Kabito Kai. I thought it brings it out with the skills negated.
No, I'm saying it's searchable. So when it's played, you can search top 5.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
can
thought you were
fetch it.
using that other ability.
No. You use the other ability for her.
Yeah.
Chi-Chi. She is searchable by Kabito Kai. You guys know what that does. Hates on blue, hates on deep magic.
Yeah.
I
It's
would-
only
I would
negated till
probably-
the end of the turn, so it
Yeah,
has
so
the
when
skills
the
again.
start of your opponent's turn, it gains barrier again.
Got
and
it.
it's on.
Got it.
Same thing with Godly Destruction Whis. This card is great against Golden Frieza primarily, but it's also good against decks like you saw Soul Striker was being displayed. Any other decks can just restand on their turn with using skills. Obviously can hurt it, so you can just play Kabito, search top 5, get what you get. warp it, play this, it comes out, and then if you're playing against Golden Frieza, they have to deal with it, right?
Got
So
it.
they have to be playing Power Couple, or they have to be playing something like that to be able to kill this card. It's pretty good, which a lot like Golden Frieza has been pretty popular. So
Yeah, it has been.
yeah. So we got one Michikabura, just all-purpose. You're just able to. I always sideboard this usually at least at one.
What do you call normally?
It just depends what deck you're playing against. I mean, if you're playing against Android 21, you can call 21 8 drop.
21
you
8.
can call
I see.
the Floodgate. You know, you can call a lot of things.
Okay, so you have a lot of
And Android 21 calling, you know, a certain number 21 cards is actually, if this card is timed correctly, it's very strong.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's a very good one. I sideboarded a third Tyrannical Blow, again for the Floodgates, just to get past it.
anti-floodgate stuff.
Yes, sir. So one Death Blaster. This was in case I played against any kind of ramp decks with Rise or anything
Vegeta,
like that, just to be able to shut that down. Because if they tap out for Rise and you have this, it's just over.
Yeah.
They're dead.
They're
So,
dead.
They're dead. So the rest, let me see. And then I have Koitsukai at 2. Again, more Floodgate hate.
Or any arrivals.
That's anything like that. We're just in a format to where that's just very strong right now. Floodgates are just running around everywhere. So
Yeah.
Koitsukai is great. The other two were for Sin and Gogeta. So I played 2 Flying Nimbus. This pretty much came in for Tyrannical Blow if I was playing against Gogeta or Sin Shenron, just to be able to shut down turns. Nimbus is still great, especially if they have you on Koitsukai. You know, they're going to stop your River Post, they're going to stop your Vegetos, you're able to just go Nimbus in the turn. And then this card was actually really good for me in my Vegeto matchup, Steadfast Goku. So decks that just don't have deflect, this card is just great. It's able to come out, rest battle cards, just give you a blocker.
You talking
get you
about
next turn.
the set 2 Vegito?
Yeah, I played against Set 2 Vegito. It's probably one of my scariest matchups of the day, just because he went first and he was able to bring out just big bodies against me, and I was able to kind of just rest his bodies. And
Okay,
kinda
a
get
couple
to the next
questions.
turn.
How did you deal effectively with the 8-drop Gogeta, from the Gogeta deck, the red Gogeta?
Well, I didn't play one, but in testing, typically this deck, as long as you can keep their unison at bay, is why I play 3 Smoke Dragons.
Yeah.
As long as you can keep that at bay, you have enough combo power in this deck typically between your super combos, and you play the SCR super combo, which
I
helps
see,
get
I
over
see, I
stuff.
see.
The 8-drop isn't really the threat in that particular matchup. It's usually when they go wide and you have no answers.
Okay.
You know, and they just have Floodgate hate. You know, they play Begrudging, they play Crown, they play you know, whatever it may be. All their
Begrudging? What is that one?
Begrudging
Oh,
is
is that the
extra
black
card that just
extra?
warps. Yeah, they play that. They play, you know.
I also
Crown.
noticed you didn't play Poutine. Is that a choice?
I took that out recently. I just again I felt like a lot of decks were learning how to play around it, so they were just kind of, you know, just working. It was just kind of a dead card in a lot of matchups.
I see.
So I ended up taking it out just to try to fit more toolbox cards in here, and it worked out pretty well, man, over the weekend.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
no
you got-
real complaints.
Was it 3rd or 4th? I'm sorry.
Yeah, 3rd place.
3rd place, I see.
Yeah, it was just, again, this was more of a last second deck. My next build will be a little more consistent.
Yeah.
And it'll be, you know, it'll be able to compete with Android 21, hopefully a little better. 'Cause
And,
that seems to be
and
what's
earlier
winning.
you said that we're not in a blue format, yet 21 keeps coming up in conversation.
I don't consider 21 to really be a straight up blue deck.
I see, I see.
It's a multi-killer deck that just has a lot of hate. It does a lot for a lot of things it shouldn't be able to do. And I'm sure Bandai is probably gonna fix that in the future.
Fix that issue.
But they have a tendency to do that. So
Yeah.
you know, but overall, I think Trunksgeta has a very good matchup in the current format. So this is definitely a deck that you should probably consider. If you haven't ran it already, you might want to try it out.
Yeah.
I know it's usually tops in every event at least
It
once.
does. It
so,
does.
yeah. So I mean, once you can kind of tweak the deck and learn how to play against 21, everything else should fall in the line. So
Okay, so they don't need to fix the problem. They just need to. People just need to get good.
well, yeah, you know, it's a new, I guess, but it's just a new deck. You know what I mean? It's something that people eventually going to adapt to. I knew it was going to be represented at the event. I just I didn't tweak my deck enough for it. Again, it was very last second. I literally made it the night before the event. So
Okay. All right. Any shout outs or any last words?
No real shout outs, man. Again, just shout out to you know, my team, you know, Josh Ruiz and Mike and my local guys, you know, like Mario, Dave, and all you guys, man.
All right,
just,
cool.
just great for, you know, for helping me out.
And don't forget to subscribe to Since Day One and DBS Analyst.
Yeah, yes sir. Make sure you subscribe to those 2 places, man. We're gonna put in a lot of content,
Yes, we are.
and we're gonna be getting out there soon, guys.
All right. Signing out.